hopefully some of the last couple of seasons in this series. I'm gonna try my best to finish up Kane's Twitter franchise mode as soon as I possibly can. We're 10 seasons in. Um, and like as much as I'd like to keep this going, just nothing's happening. Okay. Tweeted out the stream. I had to check a DM. Uh, Pitched an idea for the podcast. Um, I wanted to make sure that I had support behind it. um, I don't know. I'll qualify him and him, but we'll let Nieminen go. Left wing. McIlroy, I'm definitely going to want to sign because I feel like he had a decent season. Um, so we're going to try and offer him more monies. What's the pitch? So when the season's over, we'll do 2 episodes. One for just the Canes, and the other to kind of recap like prospect performances from this past season. Um, oh yeah, he's an NHL player. But like, figured combining both topics into one episode would make it like 3 hours long. So instead, we'll just do like two probably hour-long pods. Um, that's obviously still kind of up in the air. What about the Sabres episode? I don't know if we're actually going to do that. I talked to them and they didn't really seem to be all that like... I don't know, we thought about it. Like, it just didn't make any sense for us to keep doing it. And I don't know why, but like, I don't know, you mentioned talking about the Sabres once, and then like, nobody's gonna really care. Because this is still like a very like Kane-centric podcast, and I think that's what we're kind of trying to keep it as. But I want to make sure also that like we talk about the NHL as well. But it's just like nobody gives a shit about the Sabres because they're the Sabres. Oh my God, my defense is old as hell. Um, Shoot, man. I think it's just, you know what? I'm gonna have to. It is a good talking point, and with Skinner back in the lineup, you know what? We'll see what happens. I think I'm gonna let Boden, this guy, play in the NHL. So I'll only need to sign 3 defensemen, which only, lol. But yeah, it is a really good talking point because you know what? Like the Sabres suck, and I'm sure we could build a couple decent discussions on like how to build up the Sabres. But I don't know. We'll sign this guy for AHL depth, decent overall. But I just don't see that being a full episode. As much as I'd love for it to be a full episode. So we have 4 NHL goalies right now. Um, yes, I know both the goalies that I decide to not sign will be in the NHL and win a Stanley Cup next year. That's just how it's going to work. I understand that that's how it's going to work, but like, these are the 2 guys that I'm going to sign. Um, I can't bring back either of these goalies. And then we'll sign Fletcher here. I think I already... Let me just make sure. I already did. Yeah, so I signed Wanvig here, who was I think like a 3rd round pick. Yeah, 3rd round pick. He was projected to go in the 7th round, and he's already 75 overall. So I think that's a really good pick for the Canes. I remember that. It's been a little bit since I've streamed, just because I've been I don't know, man. I've been so busy. Okay, whatever. Yeah, like I've had a lot of work. And let's just make sure. Easy decisions to renew all of Browns. So we'll just sim to free agency. Yeah, it's been a busy week. Today I'm actually pretty much free because Elise is with her family working on some student teaching stuff, and I'm at home, like periodically doing laundry and whatnot. So looks like the only changes I'm gonna really have to make are at the AHL level this year with coaching. But let's check scouting first. So I don't need to make any changes to scouting, like technically. However, let's see if I can upgrade in either Liga or the OH or Liga, OHL, or Russia. So let's see, Nordic. That's a there's a better scout technically in the OHL. And A minus. That's definitely an upgrade. So I'll offer him a little bit more. This guy in the Nordic regions, A minus, a couple categories. Yeah, so we'll sign her. That's Julia, is her name. All regions. Let's check Russia. No good scouts in Russia. Okay. Hire coaches. I need an AHL head coach, first of all, first and foremost. This guy seems perfect. So we'll offer him a good amount of money to come here. And then I just need a goalie coach. Pretty easy. Um, Pretty easy this time around. But so for scouting, let me fire my OHL or my lowest OHL scout. So it's not going to be like a huge upgrade in the scouting department, but both of which will be necessary because I just need better scouts. Granted, I don't think it'll matter. Um, oh shoot. Well, before I do this, let's check the who won the cup last year? New Jersey. That's right. We lost in the first round. So let's check what the team needs right now. So at center, I can already tell you we're fine. We've got 4 centers. 1, 2, 3. I could use a left winger, but I might keep McDonald just to get that extra development. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, we're fine. We've got Soro, so never mind. We don't actually need a winger. All right, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly. So let's bring in 2. Hopefully a top pairing defenseman. I didn't see any available. So this might be a year where our defense is just kind of okay and I just sign like a couple veterans to like not great contracts. So the defensemen available are Chikrin, Laxo, who is young actually. He doesn't fit the system though. Bogosian, Miles Bogosian fits in all of our penalty killing lines. That's an option. Rycroft here doesn't fit the system either. Latipov, I mean, he won't be a top pairing defenseman on the team. Was Bogosian the one that fit on all penalty killing lines? So I'm definitely going to bring him on into the fold. But let's just go 2 years. We'll go 3. He's 27, so that's actually a pretty solid thing. Albalin, only penalty killing line 2. Sergachev fits in the top 4, which that's definitely where he'd be, but I don't know. Give me 2 seconds, I got a FaceTime call. Okay, sorry. She had a question about some stuff for the porch that we have here. Oh, that's a good prospect. 70 overall, 20 defensive defenseman. The potential's only a medium top 6, but that's a really good prospect, all things considered here. Um, so we're gonna go ahead and offer this prospect Conboy, Bo Conboy. Yikes. A former first round pick of the New York Islanders. This guy probably was listed as a bust in his draft year, but like, you know what? Give him a chance at the AHL. You're just signing this guy. That's fine. Bykov here. Excuse me. Low top 6 forward, former third round pick. Again, 69 overall. That's pretty decent. He might fit into your system. Haynes, I'm assuming, was one of ours. Yeah, former 6th round pick. Low elite. Did I just miss him? I must have just missed him. Okay. So we'll rectify that because he is low elite. Yeah, that's actually really good. A couple really solid prospects available this year. So if I can pick up all 3 of them, that'd be huge. But yeah, I think that's it. We signed the 2 guys, and I think we're good. I'm gonna edit the trade block because I want to keep Marco on the team. There's actually a handful of prospects that I want to keep on this team here. So let's see. I got my AHL head coach, and I've got my goalie coach. So coaching staff is done. That's way quicker than I thought it would be. Alright, I got 1 scout. I think that's the OHL, and boom, I've gotten both scouts that I hired. I got Bykov, the center. So that's really good. I got the left fenceman that I forgot to sign. So I got the 2 out of the 3 prospects. There's 3 out of the 3. I got Drake Berry and Miles Bogosian. So I have now an NHL defense. I was looking to have maybe 1 better defenseman, at least in terms of fit, but it's fine. I think we'll be good no matter what. Oh yeah, we got hockey tonight. Canes game. I think the Wolves also play. No compensation, so I'm just going to go ahead and sign him. The rest of these should be tendering offer sheets. Or prospects accepting their qualifying offers. Yep. It's mostly just, yep, there's cool. Hey, kitty. He got like way bigger. Like his head is finally not like terribly small. So like he doesn't look as silly now. It's kind of funny. Like he was like really big body and little tiny baby head. What you got there? Oh. Man, so many trade offers, and I even deleted my trade block. Oh, you see something outside. Might open up the porch. I think if it's nice today, I might, like, just open up the back door so he can look outside. We have a screened-in porch, so it's not like he's gonna run out. It's a little chilly now, but if I wait like a couple hours, he'll be able to go outside. He likes to sit on the little table we have out there and just like peek out. It's really cute. Okay. So, we're just waiting. I hope the stream isn't like glitching for anybody. I'm trying to make it work as well as I possibly can. Well, there we go. Okay. So before the upcoming season starts, would you like to view the lines? Yes, I would. So let's take a look. We've got... Boom! That's a good second line right there. Natchez is regressing. Unfortunately, it's not. Okay, cool. That's very unfortunate because looks like kind of the whole team is not doing all that well. But let's see. Okay, let's do that. So the first two lines here are huge. +3 overall. Yeah, I changed my mic settings to be even louder because I found out when I came into a party, I was like so quiet. So I probably just need to bump it up to the top because this mic isn't super sensitive. But so the third line is really good, and even if Aho regresses beyond like 86 overall, that's still really solid. Um, I've got myself enough here. I guess I must have traded for this guy. And I've got Vyacheslav Goldobin, who's a prospect of mine, I believe. I drafted him in the 7th round. Wow. So let's see. Wait. I've gotten 82 games and 35 points out of him, so that's really solid for a prospect. Um, check out the defense here. So we've got Bowen Byram and Ben Hefner. And then we've got the two players here. Elliot Lawrence was one of my players. Okay, so I only have 6 defensemen on the roster right now. Um, Barry, Bogosian, Boudin, Lawrence. I've got Byram and Hefner. Goaltending is Fise, and Avery is actually going to take over as the starter. That's the best goalie tandem I've had. I do have 2 solid depth pieces right there. In the AHL, I've got Davis Marco, who I think needs just 1 more year to develop. I'm hoping he gets up to an 80. And yeah, Conboy, the guy that I signed, already getting second pairing minutes on a not very deep roster at the AHL level. And yeah, this AHL roster just lacks depth. They lack a lot of depth. So I'm hoping that they'll be okay. I've got a handful of really good young prospects on this roster. Like Gaucher, is pretty young. Wilson, Wanvig here. If I bump him up to the first line, no, that actually makes it worse. Okay. But so, we have potential with that AHL roster, but I don't know. We'll see. But regardless, let's just keep going. We'll soon to the trade deadline. I doubt I make any moves at this year's deadline, but you never know. Let's see. Just looking to see if there's any exciting things with prospects. Other than TXL's multi-point game. Oh, Passion just scored, apparently. Oh, come on. It was a really nice goal. It's just like, the MHL is a joke, man. It's got to be so hard to evaluate prospects in the MHL because half the teams have defenses that can barely skate. It's just kind of embarrassing. I do want to make sure that my yep, okay, Liga and SHL, perfect. I was gonna say like that's the only thing I needed to check. I was just gonna make sure that we were all good. Cause I'd hate to scout like half the season in the SHL, only to find that you know, I didn't scout the Liga. Solid start to the year though. I mean, 1 loss but 3 wins. And I mean, you know what? Like our 1 loss was to Ottawa. So it's not like the and then Vancouver. So I mean, it's not like the Canes are giving up points to teams in division, which I think is very important right now. Okay, so we'll view the draft class. Remember, I have the draft picks on high. So let's see. Medium Elite. Lionel Bradley projected to go at the top of the draft. The Patrick Kane comparison, I believe that's the best. I'm I hit the wrong button, so we won't see if there are any gems. Please forgive me. But I understand if you don't. Alright, so we're just gonna say no to all these trade offers. A huge shutout win over the Toronto Maple Leafs. I don't know if they're good in this game, or at this point, I forget where they were at when we stopped. Yeah, I totally forgot where we were, or where they were. But it's another loss, so it seems like the team's going to be good this year, but not great. It really seems that we've kind of hit a wall. Um, let's take a look. Can we finish October on a win? We can with an 8-6 win over Vegas in Las Vegas. So that's a pretty big win. Can we get the revenge game against the Sens? We can't. I don't know why we can't beat the Sens this year. One of my goalies out with an injured back, so I have to call up a goalie. I don't think I have any like phenomenal goalies in the system right now, but luckily I have a 90 overall goalie that's in the other position, so I think we'll be fine. Fusset is back, so that's exciting. And we lose to Tampa, but we beat Philly, I'm assuming, because of our record. Yep, okay. So, I mean, we're getting the division wins that we need, which we've only had a handful of those games so far, but, like, we're barely over 500. Yeah, we're currently occupying a wild card spot, so it means the East probably isn't very good this year. Toronto 6-9-1. We shut them out last time. This time they shut out us 1-0. Kane's currently on a 3-game losing streak and lose again to the Blackhawks, meaning that we are on a 4-game losing streak. Come on, let's beat the Caps, and we make it 5. Okay. Don't know what the deal is with this team. It may just be we got old. And it may also be one of those things where, like, around December, once, like, I actually have a defense that's developing, like, my third pair is young, so if they develop, then maybe that pushes us over the edge. But then again, you know, we've won 3 games in a row now, which doesn't necessarily make up for the 5-game losing streak just because of math, but like it helps. There we go, 4 games. And then this game against Boston could be pretty big. Elliot Lawrence is out. He was on my third pairing, I believe. That's tough. 5-game win streak. So we literally 6. We've literally made up the difference from our losing streak. I don't know what. I don't know what to do with this team, man. Oh well. I'm just happy to be winning. We're back to 3rd in the division, barely. The December Central Scouting rankings, I mean, we're not going to learn anything. We're not picking up in the top 5. If we do, that's a disgrace. Unless we end up we ended up trading for a pick that I just forgot about, but I doubt it. Those first round picks are too expensive in this game. Oh, I woke my cat up. I bumped my knee. I'm sorry. Stop giving me attitude. You woke me up at 8:30. I like slightly tapped my foot against the table that I'm propped up on, that my feet are propped up on. He like looked up mad as hell, like how dare you, and then went back to sleep. So he's just a grumpy old man today. All right, fractured collarbone for Willie Avery, who is my goaltender. He's only out until the 4th, which doesn't seem like a very long time to recover from a fractured collarbone. I have to sneeze. Give me a second. Never mind. Nothing came. I hate when that happens, man. Like, you feel like you have to sneeze, but you just can't. Um, well, the Canes are on a 4-game losing streak again. 5. Avery is back, so that should help. Unless he fractures his collarbone in one of these games, which please don't happen. Alright, the losing streak has ended. The Canes are in a wild card spot still. It's actually kind of like a competitive division this year, because I don't know if you were able to see, but like, yeah, we're out of a wild card spot now, and the Devils were 2 points behind us. Yeah, it's tough. But here we are playing against the Ducks, and we lose to the Ducks. Alright, so big stretch coming up this week with a 4-game slate against Metropolitan Division teams. So, beating the Capitals, the Flyers, and the Rangers. I mean, the first time we beat the Caps was important because they are ahead of us. Shootout loss isn't great, and then we lose to the Flyers. Come on. Beat the Rangers. Just give us at least... Yep, okay. So, both of our so we went 2-1-1 that week. So we got the majority of the points. We got 5 out of 8 against Metropolitan Division teams. You unfortunately surrender a point to the Capitals, but all in all, it's not bad. You got a big shutout win over the Canadiens there too. Doesn't look like a great top of the draft class, not gonna lie. And still no gems, even though it's only been a month month and a half since we last checked. But yeah, this break is going to be important. You really want to beat the Flyers, the Devils, and the Capitals here. And you might as well consider beating the Penguins too, if you can. Injured knee for Darius McElroy. That's a pretty big loss, I think. I think he was on my top pairing. Or not my top pair. One of my top lines. Alright. New York has fired Jay Bouwmeester. And we've got McElroy back now, so that's a decent addition to the lineup. We should beat Arizona, because they're not very good this year. And we do. Okay. Alright. Can we beat Montreal again? Yes. Ooh, 8-2. Yikes. And the Rangers are not very good. They're 19-30-5. Wow, I didn't realize that. I knew they were like towards the bottom of the division just every time I've seen it. And we get a shootout win. So, a 3-game win streak is pretty good. We're out of a playoff spot, but only by 1 point. It's kind of been like every game we win, like we move into a playoff spot, and then every game we lose, like somebody else takes our spot. A shootout loss against Nashville, I mean, you'd prefer to get the 2 points, but getting the 1 point in the standings is okay. Big shootout win against the Sens, though, and that pushes us to 4th in the division. Aho is back. I didn't even realize he was out. I don't know how much of an addition that is to the lineup, but still, I mean, it couldn't hurt. And then all of a sudden, you know, with that loss to the Devils, we move down. But we get the win against the Rangers. You're going to need the wins against like the cupcake teams in the division, like the Rangers, to get that, or to get over that. You're going to need a win against Colorado. Big win there. Okay. The Penguins are a team that you need to jump over, so getting a win here would be huge. 1-0 shutout win is huge for the Hurricanes, and a win against the Islanders is even bigger. Or, well, the win against the Penguins is bigger because they're a team that you're fighting with. Fisey is not on the block. I'm sorry, guys. Are there any solid defensemen available? That's a goalie. Kari. 83 overall, offensive defenseman. They just won a 4th round pick for him. Does he fit the system, though? Not really. You know what, Trevor? If I had to guess, probably not. Ah, Chris Leclerc. I could check again, like, yeah, like nobody fits in our system. I don't know why. Day and night. Alright, let's keep going. Hronek, that's not an upgrade for me. Lucas Johansson, I could bring him back. Man, there's right. All of the defensemen. He has 2 years left. He's 35. Okay. Let's see if Beaudin is a fit. Defensive pairing 1. I really just want like a decent bottom pairing defenseman. Can't find one. Brandon Beleskey. Defensive defenseman. I also see Detroit has another one available. He's 30. He doesn't fit the damn system. Fuck. Just exit the damn trade. Thank you. Antipov. Let's check this out. Okay. Defensive pairing 1. I think I'm just going to go for it because he's relatively cheap. They only wanted a goalie prospect plus a 4th. Yeah, I mean, like, I could do that. So Detroit has made a trade with the Carolina Hurricanes. And I really think that defense was the one thing I needed to add. I needed to add a solid defenseman. But while we were doing this, let's check and see the trades that we've missed. So a first-round pick was traded for McCallum and Jarrett Anderson-Dolan. Mason Shaw was traded for a first-round pick. Kvasha and Kaliev traded for a pick and couple prospects. Heponiemi and Adam Ginning traded. And then there's obviously, you know, our trade where we acquire Latipov, and then Carson Lambos traded for a second and a third, along with 2 fourth-round picks to Montreal. I think that's going to be it for us. I don't see us making any other trades. I really only wanted to get rid of. I don't know. Our defense was just not cutting it, and scoring was a bit of an issue as well. But I don't want to kick Aho out of the lineup because this is his last year, and so like, as much as I would like to. I think we keep Aho in the lineup. Scoring is an issue, but hopefully by adding a decent defenseman, we'll be okay. So yeah, there's Latipov here. I think we'll do this just because I don't want that bad pairing on the bottom pair. So, you know what, like, the defense is better, like, unquestionably. But we'll see if it actually makes a difference here when we play against, like, another team. At worst, if it doesn't work out and the Canes miss the playoffs, we only gave up a 4th-round pick. But these last 2 games in the regular season against Philly and New Jersey could be huge. They could have major playoff implications because, yeah, I mean, you know, separated shoulder for a 4th-line player myself enough. Luckily, he's only a 4th-line player. But that was tough. And then we lose to Boston, but we beat the crap out of the Islanders. And the Blackhawks. And we win against Pittsburgh. That's a big win. after you lose to Tampa. Um, okay, okay. I like it. Canes have won 5 of their last 6. Big win against the Sharks, even though you lose to the Avs the night after. All right. I'm liking the post trade deadline stretch that we've had. Phaneuf is back a little earlier than I thought he would be. Huge win against Tampa. They've beaten you twice, and you just get those points later on in the season when they really matter. Goldobin's out with a concussion until the New Jersey game. But you know what? It's with the Canes, the way they've been playing. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I'm liking it, Canes. Okay. All right, we've clinched a playoff spot. So that trade deadline addition, I think, was the missing piece we needed. We needed that better defenseman, and we got him. Gunler's out with an MCL sprain until I don't even know when. Winning this game would be pretty big, but the Islanders, I think, have 2 games remaining, it said. So, yikes. And you only score 1 goal. Ben Hefner with the last goal of the Carolina Hurricanes season. Can't even really call that padding the stats here. So the Canes will finish 3rd in the division and will be playing the Islanders in the Stanley Cup playoffs for the first round. Svech had 68 points, definitely one of his worst seasons. However, you know what? Like, that's still not bad. I think the Canes were missing their first line center this year, and so that's going to be something I go out and acquire as a first line center because Aho is more than likely done. Yeah, this is his last season in the NHL. So let's take a look at his stats before we go. So he finishes his career more than likely with 1278 points in 1326 games. Almost 500 career NHL goals and almost 800 career NHL assists. If he played one more season, he would reach both milestones and 1,300 points. I doubt he will, but so you take a look at his playoff stats. A clutch playoff performer, over 100 assists in the playoffs and 167 points total. Svechnikov, who has 3 more years in the NHL after this year. Currently 1152 points at the NHL level. This is very big. These last 2 seasons haven't been his best. And I think the reason why is because the Canes haven't had a first line center. But you take a look, and Dan with 57 points here. A pretty solid career for him, despite, kind of being played down in the lineup. Ben Hefner, who the Canes signed 3 years ago, has been a 40-point defenseman for the team. Rookie. I don't think we had many rookies this year. So yeah, Boudin was the only real rookie. We got 74 games out of Phaneuf here. We've gotten 99 games out of Boudin. And then Fucali, who I don't believe is actually a rookie. No, this is actually his first season, so he has 20 points, or 20 games played this year. Now I want to see, it was Goldobin, so I've gotten 158 games out of a 7th round pick, which is pretty crazy, all things considered. Latipov, in 20 games with the Canes, he only had 3 points, which is pretty... It's a little less, but it's pretty close to what he was on pace for. He was a +3 with the Canes, just getting 17 minutes a game. I don't think... He blocked 20 shots, and he had 8 hits. And you know what? Like, I don't hate that. Like, the Canes needed a player that could play in their top pairing. Their middle pairing, and then they won. a handful of games with him. So like I don't hate that signing. The Canes were 8-1-1 in their last 10 with him in the lineup. So Healington scores first for the Islanders in game 1. Game 2 or period 2, Bogosian gets a shorthanded goal for the Hurricanes, but that's unfortunately a very ugly second period, and it leads to a loss in game 1. Avery Henry out with a mild concussion. He will be back in time for game 4, but now we have to rely on Fusset, who I believe has been our starter before, and I think he won the cup with us. Or he was our Stanley Cup winning goalie just a couple years ago. Svechnikov gets a power play goal, so already off to a better start in this one. Second period, Svech gets another one, and Bogosian gets his second of the series, which is interesting. And the Canes win thanks to Soro, a bit of an unlikely hero there, filling in for some injuries. But the Canes walk away in game 2 with a win. It was a little close, but they win. We'll stop the simulation. Henry is back in time for game 3. Chicago is not a playoff team this year. I was a little worried about that because nobody really fit that system. It was really weird. But Hermy scores in the first period. That's his first of the series. No scoring in the second. In the third period, Svech gets 2, Aho gets a shorthanded goal, and Necas gets a power play goal. That's a 5-0 shutout of the New York Islanders. And Ben Hefner, our top pairing defenseman, is out for the series. You don't love to see that. But we're in game 4. He should come back early in the next series, but... Oh, I don't want to finish the game. Excuse me. Soro gets a power play goal, but yeah, it's just an ugly loss for the Hurricanes. And I mean, they missed Ben Hefner. I mean, it's not a secret. They missed their top pairing defenseman. But the Canes have to find a way to win without him, and this will be a good test here. Excellent second period. 4 different goal scorers for the Canes. Necas, Aho, and Svechnikov scored at even strength. Hermy got a power goal. Third period, McElroy and Fucale score. So 6 different goal scorers in this game, and the Canes are walking away here with another win. Henry's out with a wrist sprain until the 15th. So the Canes starter just cannot stay healthy. And all of a sudden, we're missing our starter and our top pairing defenseman in this series. So if the Canes win, it'll be a huge testament just to how well the Canes are playing. But only 1 goal. Suzuki gets the goal. I believe that's his first, and the Canes lose. So each of the Canes' 3 losses in this series have been when they've only scored 1 goal. Game 7. All right. Come on, Canes. Hermy gets the goal in the first period. Second period, no scoring. Third period, what do you know? The trend continues, and the Canes lose. So unfortunately, Sebastian Aho's career is likely over. Ben Hefner would have come back pretty soon. Henry wasn't going to be back for a while. Gunler, we were also missing Gunler, that's right. I was going to say, like, we were missing one other player, and I don't think Gunler would have made anything, like, super important, but it definitely would have helped having Gunler in the lineup. And then Henry's back, so yeah, it was a tough series for the Hurricanes. But there we go. So Los Angeles wins the lottery. I'm fine with that. Minnesota gets the 12th and 14th overall pick thanks to a trade with Pittsburgh. In the last Central Scouting rankings, we should have a pick around like 21-ish. We've got 3 gems. We've got a low top 6 forward projected to go in the early 3rd, a low elite player projected to go late in the draft. Really good puck skills, decent shooting, pretty good physicality too. His skating is just not very good, but he's 18. That's actually a decent prospect. And then you've got a potential medium top 4D with size and skill, strength, and shutdown ability. So this is definitely a defensive defenseman. Really solid physicality and shooting. Um, yeah, that's a player that I'm probably going to pick. But I might actually use my first round pick on him because I don't pick defensemen that often. Because I can never develop a defenseman properly. Aho did not retire. Oh, that's a surprise. That is a surprise. Aho did not retire. We'll check the awards. So Philly won the Stanley Cup. It was a Philly versus Winnipeg series. So congrats to Kevin on winning the Stanley Cup. Avery won the William M. Jennings this year. Looks like scoring was actually the team's biggest issue this year. So congrats to Kevin on winning literally every award this year. And I doubt we had any Chicago. Yeah, no. Alright. So definitely interesting. Let's keep it going here though. Let's see. Canes are picking 22nd overall. I just don't know, man. I don't like the fact that there's like a grinder right. I don't know anything about Davies, and I really don't want to pick a guy that's projected to be like a medium top six or medium top four. No, medium top six is right. I could draft Rissmiller here, or I could just trade up. I'm gonna draft. I don't like that it's medium top nine. I'm gonna draft Joey Davies. Medium top 4D, okay. It was Muhammad something or other Trotter. Medium top six power forward. I wouldn't have hated that. But so I want to try and trade. Let's see this pick right here. It's gonna take a lot. Significantly less with the Canes pick in there. We'll try and trade them a rookie skater that they might be interested in. What about this? That almost does it. Let's try and do that. Yeah, two prospects that are never going to play with the team. I've moved up to 36th overall. Rissmiller was not picked, thank God. Boom. Medium top 4D, 72 overall already. Who's he playing for? He's playing in the WHL, so he won't be able to come over here, unfortunately, for another couple of years. But I'll go ahead and probably sign him. That way I can just keep that. And the best part is I keep my second round pick, so I can keep adding to a prospect pool that really doesn't need any additions. Alright, I've picked a lot of defensemen already, so I think I'm going to pick this guy, Thomas Backer. Let's see potential real quick. Medium elite goalie. Okay. And there's a lot of low elite talent this year. This is a decent draft, actually. I'm gonna take a chance. Medium top 9. That's unfortunate. I was really hoping it would be the medium top 6. It usually isn't, but you know what? I thought it was worth the risk. I'm gonna just go ahead and start. I'm gonna draft Klimchuk here, Brett Klimchuk. 52 overall is not good, but the fact that he's low elite is important. It's a guy that you might be able to get some NHL games out of. 177th. Let's go. Alright. Jorg Schultz. 59 overall isn't bad. I mean, his skating is not very good, but his puck skills are really good. His shooting is pretty good. He's got decent physical stats. Like, this is a player that you could turn into an NHL player. And then 208th overall, it's probably just going to be whoever has the highest potential on the board. We'll take a wag at Randall. Jamison Randall. Oh, look at that. Low elite. I didn't even mean to do that. He's 19, so that's actually not the best overall for a 19-year-old, but the fact that he's low elite, that's not bad, man. You know, we add some decent prospects to the pool. I don't remember how our last draft was, but this is definitely a really good draft. And like every scout is expiring on this damn team right now. I'm thinking maybe I open it up to getting more people in here. It's like I don't know, like it's not very fun when there's only like 3 or 4 people. Or like there's maybe 10 this time around. And it's not like super fun. Um, it's like the same players are going to win the same awards every year. I really want it to be a lot more in depth than that. Um, so I don't know. I might end this series. I don't know. You see, the thing is, though, it's like nobody in Discord is gonna watch this either, and that's the problem. Oh, Henry isn't a starting goalie. What the hell am I thinking about? Oh, it's Avery. Oh. Hmm. Oh my God. Ruslan Ovechkin, the player that I drafted in the 5th round, is a 77. That's wild. What was this guy picked? 3rd round. Yeah, I just like I want this series to be fun, but at the same time, like the reason why I haven't been streaming. I'm sorry. The reason why like I haven't been streaming it is just because like I've started to not care. That sounds really bad, but it's just like I don't know. I want it to be better. Like I want it to be more fun. Sorry. Like I don't know, man. Like this is fun, but at the same time, I'm just like I don't know, it gets repetitive, it gets kind of boring. And it's just like, as much as I'd like to keep doing this, it's like if it's just going to be like if I'm gonna do all this and I'm gonna like put effort into it, I just want it to be worth my time, and I find most of the time that it's really not worth my time and energy. So that's why I don't stream it. Yeah, I'm gonna stop. It's like I tried one season and I'm like, this is fun, but like it's just the same game. I don't know, man. And like the free agency, like it was a nice change of pace. It just doesn't change anything for me. Like it was nice and it was cute, but it's like you end up just like skipping the majority of it because you've made your one trade and you're done, you know? Like I don't know. But I'm gonna stop streaming. I'm gonna talk to Elise and see what she wants me to come hang out, and I don't know if I'm actually going to. I think my laptop died. So um but yeah, Trevor, just send me a message with what you think like would make the series more exciting, because like it's not that it's getting hard to do or anything. Like I don't mind doing it. It's just tough to keep me actually like interested in the series itself. But anyways, I'll talk to everybody later.